Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Rolling with the Punches. Today I'm coming at you from the state of Arizona, and my colleague out there, David Contreras, is out there in Fort Lauderdale. We also have someone else on hand today, a world champion that came from Jamaica, made his way to Miami, Florida as well. He is a legend. He has fought some of the best fighters in the world. He is the former IBF, IBO, Ring Magazine lightweight world champion, known by two beautiful names, the Gentleman and also the Road Warrior, Glen Johnson.
How are you, man? Good to see you. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Great,
It's our
champ.
pleasure.
Hey, champ, it's an honor to have you on our show. It really is. We've been watching you for years. We saw a lot of your great combats. I mean, you entertained the crowds. I'm originally from San Diego, but Tijuana's right next door. And I'll tell you, if you would have walked through San Diego during your era or Tijuana, you would have had crowds following you. You had a lot of people in Southern California and in Mexico and Tijuana following you. And
Oh,
thank you, champ,
thank,
for being on our show.
thank you. I truly appreciate it. All I do is go out there and do my best, work hard, and trying to accomplish my goal. And the people who appreciate and enjoy my work, I thank them and I appreciate them. Those are the best people in the world. I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, thank you, champ. You had a question, Jaime.
Yeah, you had a very impressive career. I believe you started back in 1993. You finished off in 2015. You fought some of the best fighters, like I mentioned earlier, Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, Antonio Tarver, Chad Dawson, and the list goes on. And you took out some of the best fighters in the sport. So, to your credit, man, you have an impressive career, and we're gonna get into it. But my first question was, so you were known first as the Gentleman, and then you became the Road Warrior. How'd that happen?
Well, I was doing an interview with one of the writers, and at the end of the interview, he said, "Man, I interview a lot of fighters and a lot of athletes, but you're a true gentleman. I like the way you conduct yourself. I like the way you speak. I like the way how you just treat the whole interview and stuff. You are a true gentleman." And I would never call that before. So in that moment, I was like impressed with it. So I'm going to name myself as the nickname, Gentleman Glen Johnson. So for a long time, that was my name. I was riding with that name for a long time. I loved it. Everybody loved it. And then coincidentally, I have another interview I was doing, and I was going all over the world, and I was fighting all over the world. And this guy was interviewing me, and he said, it was like, "Man, you fought all over the world, man. You like the road warrior. You go in people's backyard and you fight them anywhere, anytime. You are the true road warrior." And I thought about it again, and I fell in love with that name. So that's how I to the road warrior, because so both of my names was given to me. There was none of them originally mine that I took. Other people gave me those names, and I felt like I earned it way more than if I just chose to give myself a name. So I really respect both names. I love both names equally, but the Road Warrior is the one that I'm rolling with now because it was the last one that I used. So it stuck with me more. So I brought that into my promotion.
Hey, champ, how old were you when you started boxing? And as a child, did you always want to be a professional boxer?
No, as a child, I wanted to be a musician until I
Okay.
heard myself sing, and then I realized it's not. And uh, I started boxing when I was 20 years old, and I never watched boxing before that. But once I start boxing, I actually walk into a gym looking for a workout because I was getting fat and I just wanted to work out, and it ended up being a boxing gym, and they say it was free. So I was just in the gym training just to keep fat away from me, try to keep my weight down. And the trainer took a liking to me because I was so dedicated. I was there every day. So he asked me if I actually wanted to do real boxing, if I wanted to try some amateur boxing. And I said, all right, if you think I can do it. I was already 20 years old. I see, kids like 8 years old a lot better than me that, already look like they know what they was doing. Well, I was struggling to learn. So it felt a little awkward, but he talked me into it, and we just get working. Took me to an amateur show, and I won my first fight. And once I won my first fight, I got the bug, and that was it. That was dedicated, and that was it, man. I was it. I was all in from that point on.
You
Was
ended up
that?
winning.
Go
I'm
ahead. Go
sorry.
ahead.
You ended up winning two Golden Glove state championships from the state of Florida. Is that correct?
Yes, I won. I won two Golden Gloves, and then I won the Sunshine State game, and then 3 years later, he asked me if I wanted to go pro, and I said, "Hey, if you think I can do it, I'll try." And I returned pro, and you know the story.
Yeah. Hey, champ. So you grew up in Florida, or you grew up in Jamaica and then moved to Florida, or is
Uh,
this where you first started training in Florida?
I, I would say half and half. I came to Florida when I was 14 years old, and then I
Mhm.
started boxing 4 years later. 6 years later when I was 20 years old.
And here in Florida, in Miami, or what part of Florida?
Miami. I was in Miami, and originally moved to Miami, and I never left. The weather was similar to Jamaica, so
Yeah.
I fell in love with it. I never had to worry about any snow or cold weather or anything like that. So I say I'm not leaving this place. This is beautiful. Plus, we have the water right over there. Why would I ever want to leave?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's beautiful. The water's always warm and the sun's always shining, right?
Always
Yeah,
shining. It's the best place to be, man. California
exactly.
is not so bad either. So where
Yeah.
you are is pretty good too.
Yes, it
Yes, it
is.
is.
It is. Go ahead, Jaime.
No, champ. So we are heading into the 2021 year, and we heard that you have a new venture with that beautiful name, the Road Warrior. Tell us a little bit more about that new venture.
Yes. I start my promotional company. We've been trying to get it going since last year, but 2020 was such a horrible year for everybody. It kind of set us back. But the new year came in, and we decided that we wanted to get it off on the right foot. So January 23rd, we're having our first event, the boxing event. I have some exciting fighter on that card. Two of who I train myself. Rafael Akajuri is a Nigerian heavyweight that I train. He's 8-0 with 8 knockouts. Devastating guy. I expect great things out of him. I think he's the next big thing in boxing in the heavyweight division. I also have a 130 pounder that I'm training. His name is Malik Lewis. He's 2-0 with 2 knockouts. Another aggressive guy who go forward and looking for the knockout all the time. And his fundamentals is solid. So these are two of the local guys here in Miami. Rafael is from Nigeria, but he lives here in Miami. He's part of the U. He came to Miami to go to University of Miami. He played basketball all for them, and now he lives here in Miami, and now he's taking up boxing. So we're really going at it, and we're going at it hard. And this is my first promotion, my debut promotion. So I encourage everybody in South Florida to come out and support. It's the first one. It might be many more there, but you can always say you was at the first one.
That's right.
The one first one. It's many other ones, but it's only one first one.
Exactly. Hey, champ, tell us about how many fights are going to be on the card. Where's the location? How are they going to be opening? Is it going to be open to the public? Can you buy tickets there, or is it going to be televised? Tell us a little bit about the fight card.
Yes, the card is in Miramar Amphitheater. Um, it's an open venue. They have a big canopy. So it's a 5,000 capacity arena, and they're giving us half of it. So we got 2,500 people we can put in that arena on January 23rd. You can get your ticket from Ticketmaster. Just put in Road Warrior Promotion, Amphitheater, January 23rd, and a boxing event, and you will see you can get your tickets there. It's going to be a beautiful show. We have a lot of other local fighters from Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. That's going to be on the card. A lot of those guys looking, some of them, I think two of them is making their debut, and I have a couple of other guys who they're like 10 and 0. I think I have a 15 and 0 guy, and I have a very popular heavyweight that's on the card as well. It's going to be an exciting show. Don't miss it.
Who's the
Wow.
main event? Is the main event the heavyweight? Is he the main event?
Yes, the heavyweight is the main event. He's a very popular guy around here. He's also a trainer for a lot of these superstar people that live around in Miami. A lot of the movie stars, a lot of the hip hop logos and stuff. So he should bring out a lot of people to that arena.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
What time do the fights? What time do the fights start?
Well, the door open at 6. We should be throwing punches right at around 7 o'clock, and we should be done throwing punches around 12 o'clock that night.
Okay, perfect. Jaime, did you have something you wanted to
Yeah,
add?
I just want to close with this. Out of all those legends that we mentioned earlier that you fought, who, in your mind, was the toughest fighter you faced?
My toughest fighter was Bernard Hopkins, because at the time when I fought Bernard Hopkins, he was just so much more experienced than I was at that time. So he stand out as the most difficult guy because he was at one level and I was at the other level. So he created a lot of challenge. But after I grow enough experience and learn some more boxing, everybody was kind of on the same level. I walk through my opponents. I don't take no hostages.
Exactly. Hey, champ, one quick question. Like I said, I'm from Southern California. I know that in Homestead, which is close to Miami, closer to where I'm at in Fort Lauderdale, there's a lot of Mexicans. And when there's Mexicans, there's boxing talent. Do you have any Mexicans right now that you're training to be future world champions?
I don't have any Mexican. I have two Puerto Ricans, but I'm still looking for my Mexican because I know Mexican is rich and pure, and they love boxing. So I'm definitely trying to dig into that talent pool and get some into my camp, because there's nothing like the combination of the Mexican and Puerto Rican clash all the time. That's one of
Exactly.
the big things that put boxing on the map. So we want some of that.
Well, I'll tell you, since I live here now, I'm going to voluntarily be your liaison to the Mexican community. I'm going to
Well,
make it. I'm going to start going to all the barrios, all the neighborhoods around here, looking for some good future talent, and I'm going to shift it right over to you. How's
please,
that?
And,
please,
and David,
please,
David,
please, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
don't forget the talent that we have over here, David, that we're working with as well, that we can send his way to make some great fights out there with him.
Oh, yeah, we got some
Definitely.
great talent in Riverside, San Diego, great talent that we
Just
could.
send me the talent. I will fine tune them and make them into world championship guys.
There you go.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go, champ. Hey, champ. Well, listen, I look forward to seeing you Saturday. I'm going to go introduce myself to you, and I look forward to shaking your hand, or actually doing the bump, I guess, because we're in Florida.
Yes,
And
exactly.
we're going to establish a long-term relationship now that
Well,
I'm
thank
here.
you. I'm
God
looking
willing.
forward to it, man. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for helping me out with the promotion. I'm looking forward to meeting you and the long relationship with you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for rolling with the punches with us, and we'll see you soon, champ. Thank you.
All right, boss. Take care.
Bye.